Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Thoth the Scribe podcast, available on all podcasting platforms. And I have with me another very special guest named Genine Turnbull. How are you, Genine?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm so glad you agreed to come on the show. And we are going to talk about a lot of stuff, but before all that, can you introduce yourself in 50 words or less as, as
Okay.
the Twitter mandate era of, 50. Mm.
Well, my name is Genine Turnbull. I am a medical intuitive that helps empower souls to unmask from the past in order to create healthier relationships within themselves and with others, and to bring in more abundance in all aspects of their life.
Yeah, I love that title you have for it, intuitive medicine. I think I've heard that term once before, but I can't really remember. Maybe it was something that has to do with psychics and mediums, but not in the kind of therapeutic field.
Well, it actually is a mixture of the therapeutic field and spirituality. So I am a medium, and I do tarot, as well as I channel messages from spirit, but I also work in a clinical base. So a lot of the stuff that I deal with people is traumas and things that have held them stuck, right? And so I have a clinical background, and I don't want to just go as like, hey, I'm a therapist, because I do all aspects. I work with mind, body, spirit, soul, everything, right? So medical intuitive just feels right for me and right for the people that I connect with.
Yeah. So what was your speciality when you were a therapist or a medician? I don't know what's that, but I guess.
So I have lots of schooling, actually. So I started off as a holistic medical anesthetic practitioner. So I was working on body, and then I went into my psychology field, and I started counseling, learning counseling majors, and then I went into NLP, and then I dove deeper into like cognitism and relationships, and then from there I dove into shamanism, and and then
that's quite a ride.
Oh, it's been a journey. And then from there, I just finished schooling on a bunch of energy work, which is a mixture of kinesiology and geotran. I'm not sure if you've heard of that. So it's using energetic numbers, mathematic numbers, in order to recalibrate your energetic fields so that you can clear the path to bring in what is truly meant for you.
Yeah, it sounds really like an OCD kind of, symptom or something. Yeah,
it's pretty amazing what happens. A lot of people don't understand that
through our lineage.
Through our lineage, sometimes there's blockages that are passed down to us from generation to generation, right? And so what I do is I go in and I let the universe help me with a mathematical sequence that I use, and I help clear out that field. And when I do that for people, things that they're trying to manifest in their life and get success in, it helps clear the path towards that. And sometimes actually what happens is what they think they want is actually not what is meant for their energetic field. So something even better happens. They're like, wow, like this is what we were working on, but this is what happened. And this is so much cooler. It's pretty amazing. I quite enjoy everything that I do, but that is something that like I just finishing up, and it's pretty epic.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It sounds, wow. I'm lost for words, I think, for the first time in a long while. But no, I'm kidding. But trying to get back to, I'm hearkening back to the kind of a holistic, what you said, a therapist or?
Medical intuitive.
Holistic medical intuitive. That's a full title. Yeah. when you say holistic, people usually think of, the kind of new age stuff, the kind of alternative medicine.
And
Or
I do deal with natural plants and
yeah,
herbs. Yes, herbology is
yeah,
another one of my backgrounds.
yeah. But I want to, whack this mole, shall we say, before we continue.
Okay.
Just when you say holistic, well, the actual meaning of the word is, all encompassing. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I don't know how would one go about it, shall we say, from a
Well, see,
holistic.
from a holistic stance, I'm working with the mind, body, soul, right? So I'm
Mhm.
getting all aspects. Whereas with just clinical base, um, like psychology and counseling and stuff like that, you're only working at the mind, right?
Uh-huh.
You're not working at the soul. You're not working at the body. Whereas I hit all aspects. Like when I work with my clients, we're working on what's happening internally. We're working on what's happening physically to them. And we're
Mhm.
also working like at the mind level. And then we're connecting to the heart space and the soul. Like, so you're getting all aspects. You're getting the
Okay.
trifecta, which makes it holistic because we want to
Oh,
get
yeah,
all
yeah.
avenues. Because if you only focus on one area, you're dismissing a lot of things that can come through. Because when you're trying to heal in any aspect, there's going to be a resistance from other areas. So you want to hit all of
Oh,
it, right?
yeah.
Because like say you're working on your mind, right? Then you're going to, some of people tend to say overeat, and then health problems come up because of weight problems, things like that. So they're using that as a shield or a soothing mechanism. So we're going inside and we're looking through the mind of where the trauma hits. Then we're looking at the heart space of why they're
Mm.
holding on to it. Then we're connecting them back to their soul in order to let that go. And then we're also working in the body and then adding like holistic medicines. So like more plant-based foods,
Mm.
sometimes holistic medicines, lots of different things. So I'm going on all of it.
No paleo, shall we say, in all of this.
No, no, excuse me.
Yeah, I hear a lot about a kind of a paleo diet, and then the kind of the intermittent fasting and stuff like this. And I say, well, those terms, they have no meaning, I guess, because I don't know if it's good to categorize the kind of diet of the prehistoric man or
Well, I think
human
that
as.
everybody's body is different, right? There
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
one size fits all. Just like when it comes to what I do, it's not one size fits all.
yeah.
Like with clinical base, it is one size fits all. And that's where I have a very open aspect because I see the fact that when I'm working with my clients, every person in every scenario is different, but the underlining theme is the same of how,
Mm.
like, right? But how we work from point A to point B is an experience for that person because just like you are different than me, but yet there are similarities, right? See, there isn't this box and this like path from point A to point B that's going to get everybody success. And that's
Mm.
where the intuitive part for me comes in
Mm.
because I will sit down with my client, we'll go over things that are coming up for them, and then I get information from source on what is right for that person in
Mm.
regards to all of the wonderful tools that I have in my disposal.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there are different goals for different people, and sometimes
Mhm.
you can't see the kind of trees from the wood, or I can't remember what's the correct term,
Yeah.
because it's not my native language, so I don't have a good memory. Uh, but just hearkening back to the soul. The soul
Mhm.
is a very fickle kind of term. It's very slippery, like quicksilver. I hate that, metaphor, quicksilver, because it's overused and misused. Um, but what is the soul in your opinion, in your kind of
To
accrued
me,
experience? Yeah.
okay, so to me, there is, again, there's their mind, there's your physical body, and then there's your soul. And a lot of times people misconstrue they think like when you're quieting your mind and there's all this chit chatter going on in the back of your brain, they think that that's your soul. But no, when you actually quiet and stop listening to what all of the jargon that's in your head and start listening, that's when you connect with your soul, which is like your whole being, right? This is just our meat suit. Like our soul is everything that is encompassed within us. And it is our intuition. It is, I am, like who I am as a whole essence, right? And like, but we get lost in the jargon, as you say, and we think that we are this, and like we think that we are our name, like we think that we are our title. That's not what's reality, right? We are our soul, which is love, which is conscious creation, which is everything.
Okay, so unravel the concept of conscious creation for me. Sounds very
conscious
interesting.
Creation is the creation of like everything. So we are all one. I believe we are all one. This is just my belief system, right? I believe we are all interconnected, and I find out a lot of this for my beliefs because of me diving into shamanism and the connection of people's stories with past life regression and things that come up through lineage, and how someone that you've met in your environment throughout this lifetime will pop up in these past lives. And there's like this weave of like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's like we all are connected in so many different ways. And that's where the conscious creation, and we all create when we are healed, right? We're not trying to destruct. When we are consciously aware, we can create love and we can create more connection because we are all connected. That's kind of
okay. Just hearkening back to the soul, I gotta stop you there. I'm sorry, because I don't know what is the term for the soul. Is it, in Western art, at least, there are different depictions of the soul, that are rooted in the tradition of Christianity, but I don't know exactly what is the soul. And is it human consciousness, the soul? Is it an intergalactic, dimensional being that
I guess it really depends on your thought process, because everybody thinks in different ways, right? Everybody has a different opinion on what they consider the soul, and like galactic, like I'm not talking about star seeds or things like that, right? That's not really my area of expertise.
Now, if you mention it, we have to talk about it after you mentioned it.
Well,
of course.
Yes. Well, there is like a lot of stuff out there where people call themselves light workers and star seeds, and they're from these like different planets, and they come down, and I don't know a lot about it personally, because that is not my field, right? And I'm not going to discredit what someone believes, because I don't know, right? Like what they say that they've gone through, maybe they have, maybe they haven't. Who am I to judge? Because I haven't experienced that. I haven't, so I can't really say much into it. All I know is that there is a lot of labels out there. There is a lot of people that are in the community that say that they are from different places, and they call themselves different things. And I can't really speak too much on it. And it's not, I don't discredit it, because I don't know, right? It's like for me, that what they're saying they've experienced and where they're from and this planet that they're from, maybe they are, maybe they're not. Like, and that's the thing about the whole, like, I'm very open-minded, right? And I believe that there are a lot of things that many other people don't believe in. So who am I to judge? I don't know. I can't really go deep into that, because it's not something that I call myself, right? And it's not something that I've experienced. Like I do energy work, and I do past life redemptions and regressions and drum journeys, and things come out. I wouldn't really normally, like, for the normal logic mind, you'd think it was crazy. But at the same time, I'm witnessing it happen. So it's like, okay, this kind of blows my mind.
Yeah.
Things that are coming up. So
it also, I think it also happened in the past. There are all kinds of different prophets from different religions claiming, making arguments that no other human being will dare to think of, trying to claim that they have, you know, a monopoly on all the knowledge, and there is no need for anything else, any outside thought. Yeah.
Well, I think in regards to those
Any
prophets,
dissent. Yeah.
yeah, I think in regards to that is, that kind of goes back to like the religion aspect. I don't believe in organized religion, because I find that it is, from my standpoint, it is a form of control and manipulation in order to put fear mongering into people in order to get them to do what they want.
Okay.
So that is just my opinion, right?
Yeah,
I think that there's a lot of value in many, many religions, but I don't like the constitution with it, right? And I think I do believe that dogma, like many, like there is so much stuff to learn, and there are so many different things, but who am I to say which one's right? And who are they to say to me that I'm going to be damned for all eternity because I don't follow it, right?
Yeah, but I came up with that example because you mentioned the star seeds, and I wanted to make 1 + 1 = 2, and I said maybe they believed that they had a spark of the divine, that the knowledge was transferred.
That's just it. And that's why I'm saying I don't know a lot about it. And who am I to say that it's not real? Because they experienced it. So if they've experienced it, then that must be true for, you know, in some form or fashion. It's just not something that I've experienced, right? And I've experienced things that many other people have not experienced, that they would think they would think lowly on, right?
Yeah, no one person will ever experience all the experience that another person has.
Oh, no, no, that's so true. I agree.
Yeah, so in the kind of a nexus, or we are in the thick of it, shall we say, of you know, I'm lost for words actually, because I want to say so much and so little is coming out. But just talking about the kind of psychic aspect, alternative medicine, talking about, you know, the fringe kind of topics. And how much do you think, or what's the percentage of your belief in conspiracies, shall we say?
As I said, I'm very open-minded. So there's not much that shocks me. And
yeah, me neither.
Yeah, I actually, like, in some conspiracies, like, again, something happened to that person that is coming out with that information. So who am I to say that it's wrong? And there's, like, I don't really have a negative standpoint on it, right? It depends, like, what conspiracies are you talking about? Let's get into that.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you some examples, because they're not examples that exist in my culture, because, you know, it's so far removed, you know. America is a crazy place, really. And culturally, you know, the language, the different accents, the different kinds of people and cultures. I said cultures, so I'll say something. Yeah. Religions, philosophies, cults. Really, I'm dumbfounded by some of the things that Americans can do to themselves, to other people, and the beliefs they hold are very, shocking to me, at least. But just one example on something. I'm just going all over the place. Yeah, it's rough. But yeah, because I got a little excited talking about conspiracies, because I like, you know, to break any kind of monotony, any kind of a norm and monolithic thinking. I just want to break away from that. I want to the imagination run its course wherever it takes us. And just, okay, I'll give you an example. I'm ready. No, I had it. I had the example the entire time, but now I'm ready to, now I'm focused. So whenever there is a kind of, you know, in the local news, you sit down, you eat some Popeyes chicken or something like that in front of the silver screen, or watching a football, and then there are breaking news, and that there was a sighting of UFOs, and an entire town in one night saw those glimmering lights like swoosh across the sky in an immense speed. And everyone saw it, and they are sure they experienced a kind of a, shall we say, interaction or encounters, or how do you call it?
Abduction?
No. Well, I can't remember. It will get back to me. So.
What's my thought on that?
Yes.
Well, who am I to, okay, so you can't think that, well, maybe you can, okay, because we all have our own thought process, right? But to think that we are the only species or the only planet that has some form of life is kind of a really ignorant way of thinking, in my opinion. Like, there's got to be, if people saw it and it's out there, maybe some things are fabricated, but at the same time, I do believe that there is life on other planets, and I feel that people to think that there isn't is a little bit ignorant. Why would we be the only thing out there? That doesn't make much sense to me. I truly, like, I don't know, I've never met an alien or been abducted or any of that myself, but I do believe that there are higher intelligence out there that
Yeah, can I take a selfie? Yeah. The
like,
alien, yeah.
Well, that's another topic.
Yes. They are very like, camera shy, shall we say.
Yeah. And like, I believe that there are things out there, and I would like to know more on it. Like, I would be really cool in my lifetime if something actually came down and was like, what the, hey, what are you guys doing down here? You're making a mockery.
Yeah, something that Will Smith can fight against. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll bring up the pen and flag.
Yeah, also Independence Day, yeah, which is very
that too.
Yeah, I like those kinds of movies, science fiction movies. Yeah. Although, you know, After Earth was kind of, I didn't saw the whole thing, but I said, okay, I'll give it a chance because I love the kind of science fiction, but I couldn't sit through it. It was, I'm sorry, I've watched Planet of the Apes, and that was like a 5-hour movie, something crazy like that, but I couldn't watch through After Earth, which is only kind of an hour and a half or something like that.
I've never seen it, actually. I'm not a really big movie buff. I'm more of a reader.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and if I do put on a movie, it's more to fall asleep.
Wow. Wow, yeah, you're old school. Yeah, you because I used to fall asleep when reading, not yeah. But I also have the experience, you know, now that I'm kind of older, not by much, but at least a little bit. Now I have the time and the kind of clarity of mind and the maturity to sit through a book. So I enjoy it very much.
Well, I love knowledge, right? Knowledge is power. The more that you learn, the more you can experience the world, right?
Yes. And from what I gathered during our conversation up until now, I gathered that you've been doing a lot of reading, and trying to kind of make a lot of different professions and to learn. So there's one thing that you know what I'm going to say, maybe.
Possibly.
Maybe I'll surprise you. I don't know. But just talking about the kind of psychics and mediums, because my belief in the supernatural in ghosts, for the layman's term, shall we say, it's kind of a split, you know? It's split between, yeah, they're real. Yeah, I felt it. But then my scientific academic mind says, because I'm an academic, at least I have that title to my name, which is good. It says it can't be. It can't be. There is no, there are Newton's kind of thermodynamic laws, and that's it. That's what exists in the universe. But
well, see, like there is energy, right? There is energy. We are all energy. We are, like, as you are fully aware. I think when it comes to supernatural, for myself, because I do shamanistic work, I deal with a lot of weird entities, right? And I deal with a lot of weird energies. And so, like, my belief system is that a lot of that stuff is built, it is with internalized. It's internal, right? It's not external. Like these ghosts, these demons, all this stuff, it's all internal. That's my beliefs. And that is because of trauma. And it's like, but I also, at the same time, I'm kind of like you, it's a mixed bag, because then I'm like, there's weird paranormal stuff that does go on. So it's like, I don't know, I'm kind of half in the bag as well as you are. Because I do have the scientific aspect too, but I like, for say, like I'm a tarot reader and I am a medium and I get information and I don't know where this information comes from. So I do know that there is things outside that I can't pinpoint, and I can't say that they don't exist, because like I'll be sitting there and premonitions will come. And then like my daughter, she's just like, how do you know all this information, Mom? I'm like, I don't know. It comes to me. Yeah. And like friends of mine too, they come to me because they want to know stuff. And I'm like, I don't want to give you this information. Like, I don't know why I know it. But I didn't ask for this. But I see things that through the veil that a lot of people can't see too, because like I have like the gift of sight, so I see things.
Classified information, perhaps.
Yeah, like
can divulge
things that are gonna happen. So I get prophetic dreams, and like I get it. I can see things before they happen. A lot of times, so I warn people about stuff that I know is gonna come up for them when I get like, and it's not that I seek it. It just, the information comes. And then when it comes to me, I'm like, okay, well, hey, such and such, this is some information, watch out. And then they're like, holy crap, thank you for that. You wouldn't believe what just happened. And I'm like, well, I do believe it because I saw it and I'm telling you.
But if your level of kind of premonitions are just, don't go under a ladder or don't go near a
no, it's not like that. It's like, hey, don't go by this street because don't drive on this road because this blue car is going to hit you.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Like the movie Premonition, if you ever saw.
I've never seen that movie. No.
It's a great movie, a great horror movie. Yeah.
And like these things happen, and like certain people, situations will come. I'll see things that are going to happen with certain people before it happens. And I don't know how I know this stuff. I have no clue where it's coming from. But like I said, I get dreams. I get like, it's like almost pictures show up in my sights, and then I get like, it's almost like not a voice. It's not a voice. It's like in my ear. There's like a thought process, right? It's like I'm thinking about something, and then all of a sudden something out of the blue pops up, and I'm like, and I'm listening to it. It's like when you're kind of like sitting there meditating, and then thoughts are going. Yeah. But I'm not really meditating. I'm doing other stuff, and it's like, oh, this is about to happen. Yeah. Okay. And I don't understand it, like, but I've accepted it and I go with it, and like 98% of the time these things that I'm told happen. And so and I don't know what that's about. So like for me to say that there's no paranormal or none of that stuff, like I can't say that there's not.
That's much better than an insurance company. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like, and then I get insight too from tarot. So like when I'm reading cards, there's symbolism and stuff like that. And then from there, like, it's like a channeling. I don't understand it. I've just accepted it and I allow it. Right. And this has been going on in my life.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
and this
is
has been going on in my life since I was
that is
like
awesome.
a child. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I ran from it for a very long time, and it's freaked the crap out of me because I didn't like knowing what I knew. And then finally I embraced it because it's very helpful. It can keep me out of a lot of sticky situations.
Yeah. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Yeah. So you have such a, you have a clear path all the way.
Yes.
Yeah. That is amazing, actually.
Yeah, it's definitely helpful. And sometimes it gets me in trouble though.
Yeah, I'll bet. But just, I want to talk a little bit about the kind of magical aspect of life, not the supernatural. I want to talk about, it's a synchronistic, not synchronistic, it's, I forgot the name. It's
Serendipitous?
No. Serendipitous is a great word. And maybe I will call you Serendipity, but maybe that's your new title. But damn. No, I haven't got it. I'm sorry.
It's
I
okay.
haven't got it. But that's it. Syncretism. Yes.
Okay.
It's magic is a kind of a syncretism between religion, shamanism, and ritual, I think. There are a lot of different aspects to magic. Where does magic meet your trajectory?
Well, I believe I don't practice like black magic or like ritualistic magic. But I do believe in magic, and I see it all the times in little kids. They like and like if you look at an adolescent, they're free and they connect with the magic and the mystery of life, and they're this free flowing, right?
Yeah.
I believe that magic is definitely possible, and we have the ability to create anything. I totally believe that. What you want in life, you can have everything that you want. And it is almost like a magical, like, it's like you just say it and speak it. Like, I don't believe in like the Hollywood representation of magic.
Yeah.
But I do believe that there is magic out there. And I've experienced things within my life that there's no other way to describe what I went through than magic. Like, for example, one time, like I was in a really dark place, and I was living on the streets, and I didn't know what I was going to do from the hole in the ground. And I was like, man, I really just need a roof over my head. I need an opportunity. And at the time I was trying to find jobs, and I was trying to get myself out of where I was. And it was like to no avail. And then I was sitting there and I was like, man, I just wish. And I swear, like this person came up, handed me $500 and was like, go get a place. What is that? That to me is magic.
You made a pact with the devil.
No way.
No, just kidding. Of course.
Devil doesn't have me.
He has a lot of money. Yeah. Well,
and it was just because like we manifest, right? Manifest is a form of magic, I guess. Like what you think you create, that is magic. And many people like forget that aspect, that we are the conscious creators of our own reality. We have the choice. We are given so many different choices throughout the day, which will either hinder us or be our success, right? And to me, that is a form of magic, because you can be like, okay, well, I'm going to choose this, and all of a sudden your life is so much better. That is magic. That's that is magic to me. And you can create anything. So why not jump into that energy and be like, yeah, I'm going to manifest everything. I'm going to make my whole reality switch. And then you're like, whoa. And then people from the outside, they're like, how'd you do that? That must be magic.
Yes. Yeah, I get that. I catch myself when I do these kinds of tricks of magic or feats of supernatural ability. I catch that kind of behavior or that kind of ability to swift and change reality within a second. And I catch other people do that, and they say, well, that's my magic trick. You can't do that.
Anybody can do it. That's the thing. Anybody can do it. People want to make you think that you can't, so that you stay stuck, right? They don't want you to have the secrets. They don't want you to be able to think for yourself in order to create for yourself. That's the thing. They want you to stay stuck.
That's a great point. Conformity is
that's devil's work right there.
Of course, but it's more complicated, I think, than that, because
conformity is about control, right? It's about keeping you stuck.
The devil's doing, or the work of the devil, is
it's easier to make people conform to doing things that way, because when they are conformed, they're more easily manipulated and controlled. When you have people that are free thinking, you can't get them to do what you want them to do, so you can't blind them. So society wants you to be this sheep that just blindly walks around and does whatever it says. It's like, no, that's not okay. We have free will. We have choice. And when you empower yourself, you realize that, and you can move mountains. And that's why there's so many people in the movement. Like, there's so many different movements of people that are waking up to the fact that they have choice. They have freedom. But we have been deemed to think that we don't. And this is where the problem lies, right? Because then, like, you think that you have no free will, and then you're living this mundane life that you don't really like. And then this is like, I feel this is where hate and greed and serial killers come from, like, because they're repressed. You're repressing everybody. Nobody wants to be repressed. The more you're repressed, the crappier you feel. And it's just this perpetuating cycle.
When you lose your identity, you lose your soul.
Everything.
As someone says. As everybody, you lose your soul to a gray menial existence, job, house, family.
So this is what breeds like anxiety and stress and all these different disorders and drug addictions, and the list goes on and on, right?
Of course. So up until now, I was a kind of an actor, and I played a devil's advocate. But now I want to kind of give myself up to magic and to the supernatural and to the holistic and energetic. And just let me reconstruct my thought process here. Magic, da-da-dee-dee-da-da. What the hell I was trying to say? Well, sorry. I got it. I'm so sorry. I don't know.
It's all good.
What is going on? But I pretended that I'm a kind of a rational, a scientific-minded skeptic. But I'm also that. But I'm also a kind of a creature, a sensible empath, I think.
Nice.
I think I can feel things in a higher frequency than a lot of people.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, when I was young, I kind of went out into the woods and I found a tree. This is my kind of a superhero, creation story or background. So I found a tree that was growing out of a piece of rock, a great big rock. I didn't understand how that is naturally possible, how that
Oh,
kind of
Mother Nature
tree,
is.
yeah, how that tree can burst out of the rock. How? No, it doesn't occur. It's
It doesn't
madness.
make
It's
much
insane.
sense, but
Yeah. So I picked that spot. I sanctified that spot, shall we say. And
yeah.
I used to sit down in a lotus kind of position, which is very funny to me. Yeah. Now seeing a 10-year-old boy sitting under a tree, on a rock, now that I hearken back and I've read the teachings of the Buddha and all the stories, and now I know I was like a little Buddha, which is another great movie if you haven't seen it. But I used to sit in the lotus flower and I used to have premonitions and I used to have visions and my imagination would run wild. And I took it out on the piece of paper, on art,
Nice.
on music, on poetry, and everything I loved. And I used to sit under that tree for hours and I would meditate. I would
Yeah.
meditate with my eyes open, actually, which is
That's how I meditate.
very confusing. Yeah, it's very confusing to me.
Did you
But
know?
yeah, you just focus on this space and the galaxy, and you focus on it.
Meditation with you, it's funny you mentioned you meditate with your eyes open, because a lot of people think that meditation is just sitting there cross-legged with your eyes closed trying to quiet your mind. Meditation can be staring at leaves, and it's being present.
Yeah, I
right?
used to stare at clouds, actually. That's the
Yeah.
thing that got me. Yeah, I used to love
Yeah, that's
the
a form of
clouds,
meditation for sure.
yeah. So you said you have premonitions and you said you can kind of communicate
Yep.
on behalf of people to their past lives. So can you take me
Yep.
through that process, which is so
Okay, so
interesting
what I
to me, yeah.
do, is a process called I do drum journeying, where I take people into their heart center, and
Yeah.
it's another form of meditation.
Yeah, it sounds
right?
like a hospital, yeah.
Well, no, it's not a
heart center.
hospital.
The heart
No,
center.
your heart center is your heart space. It's the
Yes,
essence
yes.
of you. Like it's the beginning stage, and we go in there and we clear out stuff, and then I take people to go meet their guides, and it's actually a really cool process. And I'm writing a book on it about
Nice.
the different processes and how certain groups of people that suffer from certain things, like whether it's anxiety or ego or like whatever it is that like, or certain traumas, there's a certain pattern that happens. And it's really amazing to watch, because I'll take these people in and I'll be prompting them with questions while they're in a meditative state. And I'll be asking them things, and I can tell immediately what their ailment is within, like, whether it's, like I said, whether they're suffering from anxiety or suicidal thoughts or whatever it is,
Yeah.
stress. There's certain images that they will tell me that they see. And it's these groups, like, it's this beautiful, and that's where it goes back to the conscious creation of we are all linked. Because I've been writing about this over the last couple years. I've been taking notes of all of the people I work with, and like certain figures that come up, and it's either your spirit animal that shows up, or some ancestor or some relative that's passed on that and it's really cool. The whole experience of taking people in, and that's just with a drum journey, right? Then I go into deeper, where I do past life regressions, where we go down a lineage line. And I do this in a way different fashion. I'm actually one of only 3 in the world that do this process the way we do it. And I go from, most people when they do past life regressions, they go backwards and come this way. I go like so I'll take it from this physical reality to where we are in their past, and then from the past into where we are, and I mesh it in, like, so it kind of links to like things that are happening that are coming up in this session from the people's past lives. I link it to what's happening in this life, and so that they can understand why certain behaviors are coming up. It's kind of hard to explain unless you experience it.
Yes, I have actually, when you mentioned it, but it was in the context of Judaism, which is a different, you know, there was a famous kind of a rabbi sage. I don't know how his name is pronounced in English, because I never, but his name is Cook, which is an abbreviation. It's not the full name, but it's Cook. And he was a kind of a new age, shall we say, a crazy rabbi from the 19...
Open-minded, yep.
Yes, very, very much so, from the 1930s. And he talked about the kind of the worshiping of God through art, through music, through all kinds of also psychedelic experiences and exogenic kind of shall we say medicines, or
yeah.
There was a nice term for it, but I forgot. The suppository, I think. Yeah, but it's not exactly the right word, but that's, you know, you can also ingest it like this.
Yeah,
this way.
I follow where you're going.
Yes. But it's a suppository. So just to finish up, because we're running out of time, but of course we'll complete our journey, and we'll move on at a later date or time or whatever. I don't know which existence we are right now. We're just going through the motions.
We're here. We're present right now.
Yes. Well, we're not here. We're the screens are here together, but we're not here. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Dave's not here, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a bit of a smart ass, as you've witnessed, I'm sure, during this conversation. but I like it. I like being a smart ass and asking the very tough questions, which I think.
Well, you know, someone's got to do it, right?
Yes. Because I try to ask the tough questions to myself first, and then I can dish it out properly to others. So just before we go, do you have any closing statements, shall we say? This is not a trial, but it's a proper, I think, term, I think, closing arguments.
Well, you know, I just want to thank you and your audience for coming on today and having me here. Like, I really appreciate that. And if anybody wants to connect with me, they can find me on Facebook. Just look me up, GenineTurnbull.com. Or no, that's my webpage. But yeah, find me on Facebook. I run a site or a group called The Nude Beach, where I empower souls to unmask from the past. And the Nude Beach is, it's not about getting naked. It's about getting vulnerable and just opening it up. We talk about everything, right? We like vulnerability. We like all topics. It's a really safe space for people to be themselves, because a lot of times we mask ourselves, right? We hide who we truly are because we are afraid what other people will think.
Yes.
And I want to bring out that, I want to like smash that limiting belief and be like, you know what? We are all different, but we are all the same. We all feel, we all want to be accepted and loved for exactly who we are. So I offer a safe space of that. And if whoever is listening wants to come join the community, I would love that. Like, I'm trying to build people, right? Help people connect that are a little out there and that want a safe haven and that are about talking about things that are out of the norm and like to, you know, break through barriers, because what is life when we're doing the mundane? It's about, you know, expanding the mind every day.
Yes, I would define my show as trying to expand the human consciousness through history, philosophy, and art. But
Yeah.
I don't want to use people to think these are kind of rigid terms, the rigid classical academic words, history, philosophy, and art. No, they are not elitist practices. They are
No, and that's where the
humanist
misconception
practices.
lies.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where the misconception lies. Like all of that stuff defines who we are as a culture and who we are individually, right? And we forget, like, arts and history and music are so essential for our well-being every day. Like, music is that's my thing. I actually, a fun fact, I was in a band as a lead singer for 17 years.
Oh,
and
yeah, rocking it.
yeah, and music was my safe haven, and it was the thing that opened me up to learning and expanding who I am and understanding myself at a core level and an expansive level. It really, like, writing, that's my form of art, is writing and singing, and like I love it. I don't practice in a band anymore, but I still play music and I still write constantly. I just do it in journaling now.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, any form of expression is an extremely healthy thing that so many of us get broken away from because of societal's pressure, right? And I find that, like, these things need to be more addressed and need to be opened up to people and more accessible, because it helps them connect back to who they are. And it helps them to expand out and to understand more and to, like, not be so rigid, right?
Yes, if I could take a sledgehammer to this world, I would, because, you know, we have to break this cycle of insanity that humankind has been going through. Well, there are a lot of terms, for the chaos.
This is why I created my business. I'm masking from the past, because that shit's crap and we need to get out of it. We need to get to the nude beach and like get vulnerable and unmask from societal shit. Deprogram, like unplug.
You don't have to pay for parking at the nude beach, I'm sure.
You just come in. Come with your vulnerable self.
Yes. Well, Jenny, this has been a great roller coaster in the best of sense, of course. Would love it to have you back on my show whenever you're.
I would love that.
Yeah. To talk about future projects or whatever you're up to.
Well, I'm actually
experiment lab.
Whoever. Ideas. I would love that. Before we go, whoever comes and follows me on Facebook, I'm going to be doing a free 7-day workshop for people about resilience and how it helps affect your how being more resilient and bouncing back through all of these different matrix crap can help you. And I'm going to teach techniques for people at the nude beach. So come and empower yourself and join me. Yes. And I would love to be back. We can talk after the show, and I'd love that.
And of course, come with a full attire.
Yes, it is not about bringing your wang out. It's about getting vulnerable. We're not getting nude here.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jenny, and thank you for watching. Bye.
Yes.